The universe had forgotten the Olivia's promise. A colony ship launched before the discovery of FTL. It had been silent for 5,000 years. Then, in the year 7242, an unscheduled proximity alarm shattered the silence. Captain Robert Kade woke to chaos.
Jennifer, status report. Why are we out of cryo?
Unknown proximity alarm. Captain, we've dropped out of sublight drift. External broadcasts are flooding all channels.
The holographic display lit up with a furball. Two alien fleets tearing each other apart with technology Earth had discarded before the Olivia's promise ever left port.
Confirmed, kinetic railguns and fusion warheads. Captain, we phased those out in the 31st century. They're hitting each other with museum pieces.
They're fighting with stone axes, and we just fell into the middle of it. How many ships out there?
312 capital ships, plus escorts. They haven't noticed us yet, but that won't last. Our hull is radiating residual heat from cryo shutdown.
Run passive scans only. No emissions. We need to understand what we've sailed into before we announce ourselves. If we're lucky, they won't even know we're here.
But the aliens were already turning their attention toward the ancient ship, assuming it was an easy prize, a derelict ripe for salvage in the middle of their war zone.
Captain, they've lit us up with active targeting. Multiple sources converging. We've been painted as salvage, or worse.
Unidentified vessel. You are trespassing in Drevan Hegemony warspace. Deactivate your engines and prepare for boarding.
This is Captain Robert Kade of the Terran colony ship Olivia's Promise. We pose no threat and we're unaware of territorial claims.
Your vessel's age matters nothing to us. Surrender your crew and cargo. Resistance will be met with annihilation.
Jennifer, I need options. What do we have that won't start a war we can't finish?
Kinetic point defense, emergency hull polarization. That's it, unless you want to wake the core systems.
Not yet. Keep the reactor in standby, but cycle the shield grid diagnostics. Let them think we're a derelict powering up.
On the external monitors, the Drevan battle line peeled off to encircle the Olivia's Promise, weapons hot.
5,000 years, and the first thing we meet is a sledgehammer demanding a surrender we can't give.
You have 60 seconds to comply, human. After that, we take what we want from your wreckage.
Jennifer, what's the read on those shield diagnostics? Tell me we have a comparative edge somewhere.
Their railguns peak at 0.4 terajoules. Our hull can take a few direct hits, but not sustained fire from 30 cruisers.
What about the Korlith? Their fleet hasn't moved. Are they just spectating?
Holding position, Captain. It looks like they're content to let the Drevans bloody themselves on us first.
Typical, two wolves eyeing the same deer, and they're already deciding who gets the first bite. Commander Veltras, we are an unarmed colony ship. Attacking us will buy you nothing in your war.
Your energy signature pulsed 3 seconds ago. You're powering weapons. Do not play the fool with me.
Captain, the shield calibration spike. He's interpreting it as a weapons charge. We've got no cover story.
So be it, Jennifer. Wake the polite version of the welcome package. Low power only, just enough to make them blink.
Deep in the ship's spine, an ancient reactor core answered. Blue plasma pulsed through conduits that had been cold since before the rise of the Roman Empire.
Welcome package online. Particle lance charged to 1%. Just enough for a warning pulse. On your command, Captain.
Let them see it. Deploy the emitter, but hold fire. I want them to understand what they're looking at.
Along the ancient hull, a single particle lance emitter unfolded, a ribbed mechanical iris opening to reveal a throat of cold blue light.
What is that? Your ship has no armament listed in our databases. Power down that weapon immediately.
You were warned we pose no threat, but you gave us no choice. This is your last chance. Withdraw your ships.
Drevan cowardice. Korlith will claim this prize. Human vessel, surrender to the Imperium now, or be reduced to dust.
Korlith fleet is moving. They're locking fusion warheads on us. Captain, if they fire, our shields won't hold.
Two warring empires, and somehow we've made them both our enemy in under 10 minutes. The folks back home would laugh if they knew. Hold all charges. Let them see the lance. Let them calculate what it might do. Fear might be our best weapon right now.
In the void, the Olivia's promise glowed like a sleeping dragon that had just opened one eye. And for the first time in 5,000 years, the galaxy hesitated.
Drevan ships are pulling back to a secondary perimeter, but the Korlith line is advancing. They're forming an attack wedge.
Raise shields to minimal defensive. Don't give them a solid target lock, but absorb the first salvo if they're stupid enough to fire.
Fire all forward tubes. Scrape that relic from existence before the Drevans decide to get bold.
A flock of fusion warheads screamed from the Korlith dreadnought, their orange plumes carving fiery tracks across the stars.
Point defense intercepted 8 of 12. 4 impacted. Shield held, but our hull temperature just spiked. We can't take another.
Enough. They had their warning. Target the lead, dreadnought. Use the lance at 10%, not a kill shot, but a lesson.
That energy spike. It's not a warning pulse anymore. Full withdrawal. All ships break formation.
A blue-white column of coherent particles lanced from the emitter. Not a full power shot, but enough to shear the dreadnought's shields like wet paper and boil the armor beneath.
Impossible. Shield grid collapsed in one hit. That ship is a monster. Break off. All ships break off now.
For the first time in a century, 2 warring armadas were retreating from the same enemy. A single ancient ship that had just drawn a line in the void with a weapon they didn't understand.
They're pulling back to their original engagement zones. Looks like we bought ourselves a temporary reprieve.
Don't celebrate yet. Get me a full damage report and keep the lance charged. I want to know our margins.
Hull temperature back to yellow, shield cycling. We lost 3 radiative fins, but no breaches. We can fight again if needed.
We're not out of this yet. The whole sector just saw a ghost ship swat a warfleet. Every empire is going to want a piece of this.
Science Officer Toran, run a spectral analysis of that weapon. I want to know how a derelict ship can gut a dreadnought with a single shot.
Output signature. It's not just the weapon. The ship itself is ancient. Hull composition suggests over 5,000 years old.
5,000. If a relic from their pre-space era can do this, what do their modern ships look like? Open a channel to the Korlith. Cease hostilities. Now.
Captain, the Drevan and Korlith are broadcasting on open channels. They're talking to each other, and they're mentioning us.
Keep monitoring. They're trying to figure out if we're a threat or a prize. Let's not give them any more data than we have to.
But the truth that Toran's analysis was uncovering was far more terrifying than any modern warship. The Olivia's promise was a relic of a civilization that had already left weapons like particle lances in museums.
Captain, incoming transmission from both flagships. Veltras and Grak are on a joint channel. They want to speak with you directly.
Patch them through. Maybe they've finally decided to talk instead of shoot.
Human Captain, we have confirmed your vessel is of Terran origin. Explain why a civilization capable of this technology pretends to be a relic.
We're not pretending. Olivia's promise launched from Earth over 5 millennia ago. This ship is a museum piece compared to what our people fly now.
You expect us to believe that this warship is older than our empire? A convenient cover for a military scouting mission.
They're more terrified of a phantom fleet than the ship that just crippled their dreadnought. If that's what keeps the peace, fine.
Captain, both fleets are pulling back their scout probes and forming a defensive shell. They're acting like we have a carrier group in the wings.
Let them. If their paranoia buys a safe passage out of this system, I'll take it. What's the FTL drive status?
Still calibrating. The reaction mass needs another hour to reach stable spin. We can't jump until then.
Trapped in a standoff with 2 empires convinced they faced a hidden armada, the Olivia's promise had become a hostage to its own legend.
Captain, the Korlith fleet just went active again. They're launching attack wings in a concentrated wedge. They're not running this time.
Open a channel. Tell Grak if he advances. This becomes a kill mission. No more warnings.
You are alone, human. The Terran fleet is a myth to hide your weakness. Die with your lies.
18 Korlith cruisers and the damaged dreadnought opened fire simultaneously, saturating the space around the Olivia's Promise with railgun slugs and fusion missiles.
Point defense grid failing. Shields at 20%. We can't absorb this much mass. 3 seconds to hull breach.
Lance, full power. Take the lead, dreadnought. Jennifer, override all safeties. I want that ship in 2 pieces.
A solid column of energy erupted from the lance. Not a warning pulse, but a cutting blade that met the dreadnought head-on and split it cleanly down the center line.
No. They just bisected a battle-dreadnought. All ships. Break formation. Retreat. Retreat!
A colony ship. He called it a colony ship. What kind of monsters arm a colony ship with a weapon that can core a planet?
Silence fell across the war zone as the shattered halves of the dreadnought drifted apart. Both empires now knew one thing. Letting this ship escape would be a disaster beyond measure.
FTL spin up. 47 minutes. But Captain, the reactor's running hot after that full power lance. We can't fire at max again without a meltdown risk.
Then we bluff. Keep the lance hot, but don't fire unless they force our hand. What are the Drevans doing?
Human Captain, we have analyzed your ship's age and accept it as a relic. Cease this senseless fighting. Power down your weapon and let us negotiate a prisoner exchange.
A prisoner exchange? We never took prisoners, and powering down our only defense isn't negotiation. It's surrender. No.
I give you my word as Hegemony Commander. Power down, and you will be treated as honored guests, not enemies. Refuse, and we overwhelm you.
Captain, passive scans detect Drevan targeting locks cycling across all 18 ships. They're not standing down, they're acquiring solutions for our engine section.
So the honored guests' offer is a trap. They want our ship intact to study the weapon. Jennifer, ready the lance for one more shot. Low power, targeted at their formation's weak point.
You've scanned my ships? Clever. But it doesn't matter. Our dorsal guns are out of your arc. Surrender now and we'll only dissect your technology, not your crew.
The Drevan fleet closed in, their dorsal kinetic cannons glowing with charge. The Olivia's Promise was outflanked and outgunned, with a reactor on the verge of emergency shutdown.
5,000 years, and we're going to end up as spare parts for an insect empire, unless I can think of something very fast. Jennifer, lock the lance on that lead cruiser's dorsal cannon array. Low power, precision shot. Aim for the capacitor nexus.
Acknowledged. But Captain, this shot will push the reactor temperature to redline. We'll lose our reserve power.
Do it. If we're dead anyway, I'd rather melt a hole in their trap first. Fire when ready.
A thread of blue energy leaped from the lance, a needle that found the cruiser's spine and detonated its capacitor bank. The blast crippled 3 adjacent vessels in a chain of ruptures.
Impossible. You aimed for our power conduits. That was a deliberate surgical strike.
I told you to stand down. Next shot splits your flagship. Relay my offer. Let us leave now or die wondering what a real human warship feels like.
The Drevan line wavered. Commanders shouted conflicting orders across the tactical net. For a full minute, no one dared fire.
Captain, reactor temperature critical. Coolant reserves at 4%. We have maybe one more low-power shot before the core goes subcritical.
One shot, 40 minutes until FTL, and still over 200 ships between us and the jump point. This isn't over.
Aboard the alien command ships, the admirals faced an impossible calculus. Attack and risk a retaliation that might ignite a war with a phantom Terran fleet, or let the ghost ship slip away with secrets that could tip the galactic balance. The Drevan War Council was a storm of arguments, but Science Officer Toran cut through the noise with a single data point.
Commander, our deep archives contain a fragment from a Terran historical record. The ship we face was considered obsolete even in its era. Their modern vessels are depicted with weapons that crack planets. If a fleet of those ever arrives, our empires would be ashes.
So this relic is a warning. If it reports our attack, the humans will come. By the ancestors, what have we provoked? Open a channel. Immediately. Tell the human captain we will grant him safe passage and all data on weapon technology he desires. No further aggression.
Captain, I'm receiving an unconditional surrender offer from both fleets. They're offering tech data, resources, Anything we want. No strings. This has to be a trick.
They went from trying to gut us to offering their lunch money. Something scared them worse than the lance. Maybe my bluff about a fleet worked too well. Accept their offer of safe passage, but tell them we'll retrieve their data from a distance. I'm not letting a single alien tech near our systems.
The alien fleets broke formation entirely, opening a corridor to the jump point. For the first time, the Olivia's promise was not a target, but a harbinger of a civilization that had outgrown war.
They think we're the thin edge of a galactic empire. The truth is, we're just a colony ship that got lost. But if that illusion keeps them peaceful, I'll wear it.
As the Olivia's promise coasted toward the jump point, the Drevan data stream arrived, schematics, energy readings, and a fragmented historical archive.
Captain, there's a file marked Terran Archive Fragment. The timestamp is from the 28th century, more than 1,000 years after our launch window.
Play it, Jennifer. Let's see what home looks like after we left.
The view screen flickered to life, displaying grainy footage of a star system. A fleet of sleek, obsidian-hulled human warships hung in orbit above a green world.
Those hulls, they're nothing like ours. That's a planetary siege formation. They're deploying crackle, weapons. The atmosphere is igniting.
On the screen, the green world turned to fire. Continents burned white. The footage ended in a wash of static.
We left Earth hoping to find a new world. Did our people become the monsters we were trying to escape? Or is this a lie to test us?
Human Captain, the archive is genuine, recovered from a derelict Terran probe. Your species has a history of decisive solutions. We do not wish to test your patience.
Captain, this could be a fabrication designed to gauge our reaction. If they think we'll attack for such atrocities, they might preemptively strike.
Or it's the truth, and we've been bluffing with a toy boat. Either way, they can't see our doubt. Helm, proceed to jump, full speed.
The Olivia's promise shuddered as the FTL drive spun to full coherence. Warning lights blinked across the bridge.
FTL spin stable. Jump coordinates locked on your command, Captain.
Jump. Get us out of here.
The universe folded. For a moment, the war zone was replaced by streaks of lights, and then the ship emerged in deep, silent space.
We made it. Hull temperature stabilizing, reactor cycling down. We're alive, Captain.
Alive. But what have we escaped to? One war zone to a galaxy that might hate us for what our ancestors did, or what they think we did.
On a secondary screen, the archive footage looped silently. The burning world, the fleet, the silence.
Captain, I ran the footage through spectral analysis. The weapon signatures don't match any Terran profile. They match Drevan. It's a forgery.
So the Drevans tried to see if we'd react like monsters. We didn't bite. But if they'd shown us something real, would our answer have been the same?
But the question lingered. If a civilization could fake such horror, what were they truly capable of? And what would the crew become when they finally faced a real atrocity?
Captain, I'm picking up a faint distress signal from a nearby star system. Civilian transponder codes. It's a colony convoy under attack.
What species? Are they part of the Hegemony or Imperium?
Unregistered, Captain. A neutral colony, and the attacking ship has Drevan energy signatures. They're ignoring the ceasefire.
We just debunked a fake atrocity. Now here's a real one. If we don't stop this, what was the point of leaving that war zone? Jennifer, set a course, intercept the Drevan ship, prepare the lance for a precision shot, minimum power, just enough to fry their weapons.
Captain, reactor temperature is still elevated. If we fire, we risk a coolant rupture. We could lose the FTL drive.
I know the risk, but if we let civilians die to save our engines, we're no better than the monsters in that forged footage. Take the shot.
The particle lance fired a needle-thin beam across the system, striking the Drevan cruiser's weapon capacitor. The ship went dark, its guns slagged.
Direct hit. We disabled them. But the reactor just surged past critical. Emergency shutdown activated. Captain, the FTL drive is offline.
We made our choice. Now we're stranded with a broken ship and an angry galaxy. Let's see how far our legend can carry us.
Before the crew could breathe, A Drevan heavy patrol warped into local space, 3 cruisers responding to the disabled ship's distress call.
Captain, a Drevan heavy patrol just warped in 3 cruisers. They're hailing us. Commander Veltras is on the channel.
Human, you attacked our lawful war action. Your relic just became a target of opportunity. Surrender immediately, or we will board and dissect what remains.
They'll pull us apart for tech if we surrender. Fighting might buy a chance, but it could kill us all. There's no clean option. Jennifer, what's our lance status? Can we get one more shot?
I can reroute emergency power from life support to the lance capacitor. 1 low power shot. But if we miss, oxygen runs out in 20 minutes.
Do it. Target the lead cruiser's engines. We won't kill them, just buy ourselves a few hours to think.
A weakened blue thread leaped from the lance, striking the cruiser's engine nacelle. The ship slewed, engines dead, but the other 2 cruisers charged forward.
You damage us again? Your defiance is futile. You have no FTL, no reserves. We will board your precious relic and learn its secrets from your corpses.
We just bought a few hours. Jennifer, how long for FTL repairs?
12 hours if we're lucky, and we'll need a miracle to keep them from boarding before then.
12 hours. Against 2 cruisers with a broken ship. We need more than a miracle. We need that legend to be real.
This is your final warning. Power down and prepare for boarding, or we will reduce your relic to slag. You have 5 minutes.
Jennifer, pull up the Drevan archive footage. We're going to make them see a ghost fleet.
Captain, that will fry our main computer. We'll lose navigation, life support regulation, possibly the reactor control.
If they board us, none of that matters. Do it. Give them the demons they're already afraid of.
Jennifer's fingers flew across the console, repurposing the archive data into a false sensor echo, a phantom armada appearing on the edge of the system. Across the Drevan tactical net, contact icons bloomed, a dozen human warship signatures, each broadcasting the promise's ancient transponder code.
7 hells. They're here. The humans have come. All ships. Break formation. Full retreat to the rendezvous point.
The 2 cruisers that had been poised to board turned tail and fled, their weapons going cold. For how long, no one could guess.
They're running. Main computer is failing, Captain. We've lost navigation and long-range comms. We're blind and deaf out here.
We bought time, but we're a sitting duck. If the Drevans come back, there's no more tricks. Only the truth, and the truth might just get us killed.
Captain, oxygen level dropping faster than projected. We have maybe 6 hours before it's too toxic to breathe.
Any chance of bringing the main computer back? We need to know if the Drevans are returning.
The main core is fused, but the old emergency transmitter still has power. We could send 1 wideband broadcast.
1 broadcast. That could bring the Drevans down on us, or bring a real Terran fleet. Either way, it's the last card we have. Send it. Full power. Broadcast our logs, the archive forgery, our age everything. Let the whole galaxy know what we are.
Captain, this will drain our remaining reserve. Cryo support will fail. We won't be able to go back to sleep, ever.
I know, but if we don't, there won't be an us to worry about. Do it.
Jennifer keyed the transmitter. For a moment, the whole ship hummed as power drained from every system into a single desperate signal. The broadcast tore through the void on every frequency. The true age of the Olivia's promise, its weapon, and the Drevan forgery, a relic's last confession.
Now they know what we really are. If we die, at least we won't die as a ghost story. The rest is up to whoever's listening.
The broadcast reached the Drevan and Korlith fleets still holding at the edge of the system. Commander Veltras and Warlord Grak watched the raw data stream.
The weapon that gutted our dreadnought is a museum piece, and our archive forgery exposed. This is catastrophic.
If a relic can do this, our entire navy is obsolete. We must appease them before they call the real fleet.
Commander, the signal origin is genuine. No modern human would use such archaic encryption. This ship truly is 5,000 years old.
Across both empires, the realization hit. They hadn't faced a modern Terran warship, but the ghost of one. And the fleet they feared was still out there, watching.
Human captain, We are transmitting a formal ceasefire and request for dialogue. The Hegemony admits its aggression and forgery. We seek negotiations.
The Imperium also stands down. We will honor any peace terms. Name your price.
Jennifer, they just folded. Start pulling the coolant repairs. It seems our legend just bought us a fleet after all.
Aye, Captain. We might just make it. The external comms are still down, but I can rig a low-power response.
We survived. Not through superior firepower, but because they were terrified of the ghost we left behind. What does that say about the future?
Low-power response is on the air. I'm relaying our terms. Immediate stand-down, neutral zone established, and full disclosure of the forgery to all species.
Terms accepted. The Hegemony will broadcast our guilt and destruction of the falsified archive. We only ask that your fleet does not come.
The Imperium will do the same. There is no honor in attacking a relic that outclasses our best. Our war is over.
On the main viewer, a formal peace treaty scrolled. The signatures of both empires appeared, witnessed by the Terran Republic via the Olivia's promise.
Captain's log, supplemental. The Drevan Korlith conflict is over. Our museum peace ended a century of slaughter. I'm not sure whether to laugh or weep.
Captain, coolant levels are recovering. We've got sublight engines back, but FTL is still days away. Oxygen holding now.
Good. Set a course for the nearest neutral station. We'll need supplies and maybe a new direction, since cryo is offline for good.
The Olivia's promise's engines flared with steady blue light, and for the first time since awakening, she moved under controlled power, not away from danger, but toward a choice.
5,000 years late, but we're finally going to step onto a new world awake. Maybe that's the real miracle we bought.
The Olivia's promise limped into a neutral trading post, its hull scarred but its legend intact.
Station's granting us priority docking, Captain. They've already heard about the treaty.
Good. We'll need supplies and a repair crew. Maybe they can fix the FTL faster than we can.
Repairs took 3 days, during which the station buzzed with rumors of the ancient ship that ended a war.
Captain's log, final entry for this crisis. The Olivia's promise has become something we never planned. A symbol, but symbols can become targets. If the real Terran fleet ever comes, what will our legend look like then?
Captain, a message from the Provisional Coalition. They're asking us to stay as neutral arbitrators. They want us to help build peace.
Tell them we're a colony ship, not a warship. But we'll stay long enough to help establish a neutral zone after that. We have our own mission.
The Olivia's promise turned away from the station, its engines glowing with steady resolve as it set course for a distant, unknown world.
5,000 years. We set out to find a new Earth. Maybe we've found something else, a chance to show that even our ghosts can be better than some living empires.
The Olivia's promise cruised through silent space, its ancient hull warmed by a new star.
Captain's log, final entry. We have left the conflict behind and charted a new course. No more cryo, no more running. Whatever world we find, we'll face it awake and together.
Captain, the Coalition reports peace is holding. The neutral zone is established. They're calling it the Promise Accord.
The Promise Accord. Ironic that a ship named Olivia's Promise would become a promise to the galaxy.
On the bridge, the crew watched the starfield stretch to infinity. The first time in 5 millennia they had nothing to fear.
We're not explorers anymore. We're survivors of a past that outshines the present, and that might be enough.
And so the oldest ship in the galaxy sailed on, a relic that had become a legend, not for the war it won, but for the peace it left behind. Because in the end, the true measure of a people is not the engines they build, but what they do when they wake up. The Olivia's promise would find its world. But for now, it carried something far more precious: hope.
Captain's log, final entry. The Olivia's Promise sails on. We're not lost anymore. We're exactly where we need to be.
Coordinates locked, Captain. First candidate world is 4 months away at sublight. We could be there by spring.
Then let's not be late. We've waited 5,000 years. A few months is nothing.
The stars stretched ahead, silent and vast. But for the first time, the silence felt like an invitation, not a threat.
You know, when we woke up, I thought this ship was a coffin. Now I think it's more like a promise we finally get to keep.
Then we're right where we belong, on a promise, heading toward a new world, wide awake.
And so the oldest ship in the galaxy sailed on, no longer a relic, but a reminder. A reminder that even the past can outclass the present when it chooses to be kind instead of cruel. The galaxy had learned to fear humanity's ghosts, but the Olivia's promise taught it something greater, that even the oldest engines can carry the newest hope.